Hi, this is Ray Evans with the Pegasus team at Infinitas Wealth Counsel. And one of the things that is a particular focus for our industry and certainly our firm is the dramatic transfer of wealth that is going on in the United States and actually across the world. It's interesting, between now and 2045, so 20 years, the silent generation and baby boomers are going to transfer in the United States somewhere around $90 trillion in assets to their heirs. So that's Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z. Cerulli estimates that the intergenerational transfers, even beyond that, are going to be another 125 million. Of that 125, they think 105 goes to heirs, and they think about 20 trillion go to charities. And certainly there's great incentive for a lot of this transfer of wealth to go to charities. Interesting to track it in the United States by demographic group. The boomers are going to pass along about 63% of the total transfers. The silent generation will pass along about 15 trillion. Big beneficiaries, again, Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Zers. Gen X are going to get about 39 trillion, Millennials around 46 trillion, Gen Z about 15 trillion. And if you actually look at those projections, the Millennials are the big winners. They're about to become the wealthiest generation ever. So this is an amazing scale, and just to give you some perspective on those numbers, the transfer eclipses the U.S. GDP. U.S. GDP is about $27 trillion, so this is an unbelievable transfer of wealth. There's some issues that go with that. As wealth shifts to younger generations, and again, this is predominantly the Millennials and the Gen Xers in the next decade, there's a tremendous amount of education that's necessary. It's interesting to go to Millennials and Gen X, and they exhibit different investment preferences than the boomers. They prefer more private equity, more crypto, more ESG type investments. And so those things typically introduce more volatility. So it's interesting for us from a long-term perspective to see how that might impact financial markets. The other key risk is that inherited wealth typically gets depleted by second and third generation. So the amount of education that is necessary and holistic planning available to these younger folks is really a dramatic need and a dramatic demand. So certainly trust companies, banks, wealth management firms like ourselves are introducing concentrated efforts to make sure that we reach out to next generation, and that we do that primarily from an educational and holistic planning standpoint. So a lot going on, always a lot of money in motion, but certainly a whole lot more in the next coming years. If you'd like some data on this and some charts, ray.evans@pegasuskc.com, and we'll get that in your hands. Thanks very much.